Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Spectrum YouTube channel. My name is Rafał and today we will talk about this experiment that I found on the internet. But first we need to go a few years before when CNC Kitchen Stefan found the arc paths, printing with arc paths without supports, and it was looking pretty impressive. But the problem was that it wasn't that easy to install and use because it was script, Python, yada yada yada. The problem was that it wasn't for everyone. And now I found something else. It's called wave overhangs, and you can actually find it on waveoverhangs.com. We are not affiliated with them in any way, but this is pretty cool experiment and this is pretty cool feature. Let's get straight to the point. Sometimes when you're printing simple objects, like for example this adapter for hoses, garden hoses, you need to have some kind of supports to print it, like this way, right? Because in the middle of this part, you will find some layers that need to have supports. They don't gonna print in air. And for some weird reason, our slicers are printing outside the walls first, and then the infill, which doesn't make any sense, right? It's like the slicer is supposed to know that it cannot print without supports, and it cannot print in air, and then try to put the infill, right? It's gonna look really bad. Thinking about the arc paths, you can find this video, I'm gonna link it to the description so you can see it yourself. It's very interesting, by the way. You can see that the small arcs are made, one connected to each other, and then we can print without supports. Yeah, but yeah, as I said, it was so complicated. Someone did, actually Dennis Clapey, I don't know if I pronounced it correctly, sorry if I did a mistake. You know, it happens. He did a fork from Orca Slicer using idea from Stephen McCulloch. I don't know if I pronounced this correctly either. He made this feature as like an option that you can just check and it's gonna work. So I'm gonna leave the link to this Orca Slicer fork in the description, because if you already know how to use Orca Slicer, probably it's not gonna be a big deal to just download it, install, put your printer there and use this feature. It's super easy. And it makes this part possible to print. But there is some caveats, there is some, problems with it. It's not that perfect. So let's start with materials, because this is printed with PLA high speed, and this is printed with normal PLA. Actually, it's our Flamingo Red Pastello Spectrum filament. Pastello filaments can be printed in a relatively low temperature. This was 190 degrees Celsius. And the bridges are, let's say, they are present, but they are not very good. I mean, they are all over the place, and yeah, the 3 layers was not enough to cover it. But of course, you can try to find the proper bridges in the settings and by trial and error. But still, yeah, let's try this new feature. This is the failed print because, as you can see on the slicer, every line, it's not going like from one point to another, one anchor to another anchor. It's gonna just try to print wall to wall just to keep everything solidifying super fast. This means that PLA and Pastello PLA, for example, will solidify super fast, and because of the low temperature printing, and 100% cooling, it will solidify super fast. But because there was too much distance between these 2 anchors and the bridge was too long and it just failed because the filament was curling all the time, it didn't work, and I'm not surprised. So I'm gonna leave it on the side, and those were just simple lines without waves or arcs, whatever. I'm not surprised it didn't work. Now we have this one. This is pretty interesting because it's a cylinder on the bottom and a square head on it. Of course, it's a bit curled up because the filament without any support will just try to warp, even PLA. And it's not something weird, it's very normal. But it did print in air without any supports, and this is overhangs. This is not any bridge because we have just one anchor point. And how it was printed, it was just every single line, every single circle was connected to each other, and it was printing super slow. As far as I remember, it was only 1 or 2 millimeters per second, and the flow was also very limited. And it did print. Is it possible to print something like that with the high temperature filaments? Well, let's test it out. First, I choose our PETG, Iceland Blue. It's PETG Premium. It's looking very nice because it's half transparent, you know? It's in this nice blue ice color. I think I covered it in a different episode, so we can check it out. And I did the bridge test and the overhang test, a little bit smaller model, but it still did a really good job. The circles around was going pretty smooth, and there was no problems whatsoever. And of course, a little bit warped up, curled. So this is not anything weird, anything abnormal. So yeah, it's gonna happen, but still, it's very useful feature when we don't want to have any supports in some parts of our model. So yeah, I did some even bigger test. I mean, this doesn't look good. This doesn't feel good. It's not working, right? But it's doable. It's possible to print something like that. 2 points, 2 anchors. Let's say it's a bridge, but most of the time on this 3D model, it's overhangs without second anchor point because it was printed similarly to the other ones. The waves were going, you know, outside. And because we have another option here, we can print this small circle also with the waves that will go around, and they will create this weird layer that will hold itself, and they will connect in the middle. So we can imagine that this small cylinder was holding all this weight, all this thing before they connected together, and even this small cylinder circle going outside this 3D model was printed and it didn't fall down. Besides, it's not usable. It's good to know that it's possible to print something like that, because next time when we're gonna try to print something without supports, we can use the slicer, Orca Slicer with the wave overhangs, and just try to see how it's gonna turn out. So PETG works. What about the hotter material? I created this small item with the polycarbonate PC275 from Spectrum Filaments, red color, and it was working fine. It was working correctly, and it didn't even warp too much comparing to the other 3D models. But unfortunately, during the printing, the small items without the brim just fell off from the build plate and didn't finish printing. So I think I will revisit this idea, revisit this printing with high temperature materials, to see where is the limit of this wave overhangs, because it looks really promising, as I need to say, especially when you're printing polycarbonate, ABS, or, you know, HDPLA or nylon. Very interesting, in my opinion. This like almost worked, but then you're gonna ask yourself, okay, this is only test models. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna print with the real life scenarios, right? So I use this GoPro mount. Usually when you see the sides of the mount, you will see that there's supposed to be supports, because 90-degree angle, yeah, and it's only the overhang, not the bridge, so there is no space to hold. And usually the slicer will do again this weird stuff where we're gonna print the wall first without touching anything, and slicer for some reason thinks this is okay. And then we're gonna try to put the infill. Well, it never works, but we have something that we have on the slicer. And then the wave overhangs will start to print from the inside very, very slowly, like super slow. And then it's gonna, everything will hold to each other. And then we're gonna print over this first layer, overhang, and it's working perfectly. It fits perfectly. This is PLA, by the way, high speed, orange color from the filament. And maybe we should use different material for mounts, like GoPro, right? Like at least PETG, or maybe PCTG, or maybe ABS or nylon. Yes, we can do that. But also, in the same time, I printed this connector from PLA when I was mentioning in the beginning of this video. And it also was possible to print. And you know, high-speed PLA, it contains a little bit more different ingredients, so the filament is more liquid, right? It's pouring through the nozzle a bit faster. This is why it's called high speed. So it's also going to be harder to do overhangs, and it's going to be harder to cool down properly. So yes, this is possible with high-speed PLA, PETG and PLA, for example, Pastello. So far, so good. Let's go to the other part. We have polycarbonate, and polycarbonate worked as well. Because polycarbonate is printed with 275 degrees Celsius on the nozzle and 120 degrees on the bed, well, there is a lot of heat in the chamber. It's going to be between 50 and 60 degrees Celsius. So normally you will think that, yeah, it's going to fall down. It's going to just fall down. It's not going to stick to anything. But this script, this slicer, it's working so precisely. Every single wall is connected to a previous wall, and it's not falling down anywhere. You can even see a little bit, it's hard to see with the naked eye, but maybe in the camera you will see that everything is going to the one side, and it's not going down, it's lifting, because the warping is happening. It's so much cooling, and it's so much, it's so slow printing speed that this is happening. But still, this part will be usable, and polycarbonate, it's pretty strong, it's super strong and watertight. So let's go to another model. Some practical parts that I would like to show you will be this small adapter for filter for the pool. It has a small thread in the top, a small flange, and there's a word like that, I don't know. And then we have connector to the hose. But this is PLA, it's a Flamingo Red, so we cannot use PLA in the pool. I mean, we can, but how long it's gonna last, I don't know. So I printed it PETG, yes. Iceland Blue PETG will work correctly in the pool, no problems. But you probably see here that the small horizontal layer is supposed to have some kind of supports. Again, Slicer will try to put outside wall first and then infill. Outside wall hanging in the air, but it's not possible. So we are using this slicer again, and everything is working correctly. I found one issue with this slicer, because the slicer, once you're gonna use negative modifier, trying to make a hole bigger, for example, or you know, any modifier, the slicer will think that something is wrong with our model, and the wave overhangs will not work even if we want them to work. So this is one, again, another limitation of this script, of this slicer. It's good to know what we can do or what we cannot do with this software. But still, I strongly believe that this feature is supposed to be in every single slicer available, because normally we can print overhangs without supports until some point, right, before they're gonna fall down, or speed as well. But just tweaking settings that the overhang is supposed to hold to previous overhang, and printing super slow will fix all our problems. Because right now we are going the easy way by looking, if we see blue lines, overhangs, we just add supports, automatically put supports, and we wasting filaments, wasting time, and probably sometimes we even gonna waste a good looking layer for overhangs. So if you are interested to try it out, download the Orca Slicer wave overhangs and you will be good to go. Remember to check our filaments on shop.spectrumfilaments.com and use our code SpectrumYT10 to get them 10% off. Thank you for watching, that's all for today. I hope you liked that video, so leave the like if you liked it, and leave the comment what do you think about wave overhangs. Please subscribe to our channel so you won't miss another episode.